Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I am about to start this live TikTok and Instagram. I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf, and we are about to get busy and pray that I don't screw this up. Hopefully you guys watched the prep show, and if you haven't, well, there it is. Instagram is always the problem. Alright. Oh, Instagram, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Instagram's working. TikTok is working. Perfect. Okay, everybody, welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2, TikTok, Instagram. I probably won't be on here longer than an hour. I know it's been a long, hot minute, especially for y'all on Instagram, and double that for y'all on TikTok. So what we're going to do is a couple of weapons, and we're going to do the hands tied. So before we do that, let me give you a small disclaimer. Do not attempt anything that you see here without proper martial art training. Also, I try to only teach you shit that's going to work. So you need to have the training. Do not go out and try to pressure test shit without training, because somebody could get hurt really, really bad. And I'm not going to be held responsible for stupidity. Stupidity has a cutoff point. If you choose to cross that line, that's a you problem. We're going to start with the nunchucks just because I'm out of practice. And these are practice weapons. They cannot hurt anyone in the wrong hands. In the right hands, they can probably be pretty dangerous. You can feel free to laugh. I do have a guest. He's too young to be on screen. Woo. And that flew right off. That just means I wasn't ready for those. We'll go with commas. Alright. I'm also going to use my imagination to turn these commas into tonfas, and that way I don't have to use any more stuff. Now always remember, in real life, commas are actually sharp. These are wooden. They can still be dangerous in the right hands. Try to remember that even a practice weapon in the right hands can be lethal. You just gotta know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, you should probably get some training beforehand. So, we're not gonna show off too much, but we are going to show off a little. We're gonna have a do and a don't session, which is very, very important for those who are training, and I sure hope that I am on frame. So, do, block, strike, strike. Don't, block, strike, whip out, whip it around. Now you see why you don't do that. One more time. Block, boom. Don't do this. You're gonna die. Same thing with the other side. Block, strike, strike. That's a do. Block, strike, pull out, whip it around. That's a don't. For those who didn't see that properly, we'll do it one more time facing the camera. Block, strike, strike. That's a do. Block, strike, strike, pull out, and do that? No. Because that's what's going to happen, and you're probably going to lose an arm. Same side. Block, strike, strike. That's how that's a do. Block, goddammit. Block, strike, here, pull out. That's going to get you hurt. Now, if you want to make a movie where you feel comfortable blocking, boom, pull out, and then do this, you know, that's fine, because you're making a movie. In real life, you're not going to have that time. Because apparently people don't teach y'all that when somebody's literally swinging a sword at you, the most important thing is that you don't want to be there when the sword is there, especially if you don't have any weapons. And then I know y'all see this in the movies where they catch the weapons like this. Don't do that. You'll probably lose a thumb, probably lose a hand. So you don't want to do that, because things go wrong. And as I always say, if you've been watching long enough, 1,000 things can go wrong in a fight before one single thing goes right. So you have to understand, boom, boom, that's it. You're cutting the armor. So you're going to cut, boom, and peel. You're not going to go cut, peel, pull off, whip it around, and do this. That's not going to happen. No one's going to give you that time. So if you're going to strike, block, boom, boom, boom. Keep going. You really don't have to block, pull, and then come all the way back. Just enough to get into the armor, depending on who you're fighting. Because these basically work for peeling armor. The real ones. So, block, strike, strike, or block, strike, and then strike. That's a smaller strike. It's the same thing as pulling it out, but if you're pulling it out, you're really trying to dig all the way back into the body of your enemy. Now, what you don't do is block, strike, whip, and do that. As cool as it looks, it's only for the movies. Do not attempt that shit. Now, by the magic of my imagination and yours, these are now Tonfas. So Tonfa fighting is a little bit easier than Kama fighting. For those who do not know, some people are more comfortable going in, some people are more comfortable going out. I am more comfortable going out versus going in. If you do not get clear of the distance of going in, you're going to hit a rib. It's going to hurt like a mother. And then you're going to be bent over, and your enemy is going to commence the beating of a lifetime on you because you hurt yourself with your own weapon. So when you block, boom, that works for me. Block, boom, that doesn't work for me. It may work for you. I don't tell you what you should do. You will have to learn the training of working with the Tonfa. So boom, boom, that's for me. Boom, boom, that's not for me. Go around, go around. So block, block, boom, 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 boom. Get your blocks back, boom, boom, boom. Someone's throwing a front kick, you can slap down on the Tonfa. So when you slap down on the Tonfa, you can come back or boom and go up. But as you see, when you're going up, it's a good chance that you can check your chin. You do not want to knock yourself out in a battle. It can happen. Guys throwing a kick, boom. You're going to do this and then this. It's a good chance that you can cluck yourself in the chin. You do not want to be the victim of your own success by blocking and then coming up, which is why I'm going to block, I'm going to come up from the outside versus the inside. The thing about fighting, again, 1,000 things can go wrong before one thing goes right. So you're going to block, boom, boom. I'm going to do it again, block, boom. See if I don't clear the distance. If I don't clear the distance, I'm going to hit a rib. That's going to hurt. Boom. That works. I don't have to worry about clearing the distance. Boom. Now I have to clear the distance. If I don't clear the distance, I should probably be ready for a counter punch. Boom. So instead of a counter punch, I just do the other Tonfa. Understand? Boom. There. Boom. There. Okay? Boom. There. Tonfas are very fun and very dangerous. Now, we know these are actually training Kamas. I don't have any money to actually go and buy Tonfas, but I will when I get some money. So, you know, unless somebody does martial arts and they want to donate me a pair of Tonfas, you know. So, boom, boom, or boom, boom, or boom, boom. Now, as you notice, I'm making sure that I extend full to get clear so that my chin doesn't get caught by this bitch. Because if you catch yourself with one of these motherfuckers, you're going to know it. You know who else is going to know it? The guy over here that you were trying to hit with the Tonfa. Trying to be a badass. So, understand, you want to do basics. If you're going to get into any kind of fights, you want to keep that shit basics. As you notice when I was doing the Tonfas, I barely did any kicks. Same thing with Karmas. So, the reason why is because I could throw a kick and this at the same time and hurt myself. We don't want to hurt ourselves while fighting, okay? We want to hurt the opponent, especially if it's a street fight. Now, if you're training in the dojo, all that shit's just null and void. One, if you're training in the dojo, you got to have a lot of trust with your partner if you're going to be using any kind of practice weapons or any weapons at all, just because if you haven't been hit by one of these, you will know it when you were hit by one of these. So when you're training, you have to train light if you're doing weapons. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Because getting hit in the face by one of these, Getting hit in the face with a nunchuck, even those like training ones, they still hurt. They still hurt. We're now going to teach you something that's not going to be useful. So, I guess we should probably elevate a little bit. So you can Thai fight with Tonfas. Alright? Boom. Boom. You can do that. A lot of people don't train that way because a lot of people, if you're going to use Tonfas, they generally just train with Japanese martial arts. Here's the thing. I'm going to report this thing to y'all as best I can. You do not have to accept it. You do not have to believe it, but you damn sure better think about it. Weapons from different martial arts can be used in other martial arts. This is a Thai fighting stance. Alright? Boom. That's an elbow. Boom. Boom. See how that works? Boom. Boom. Thai fighting. Bam. Block. 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 But instead of using my elbows in Thai fighting, it would just be like this. Boom. boom. No time fuss. Boom, boom. If I want to absorb the kick, down, boom. When I'm getting kicked, and I can come down. All right? Providing they don't kick the shit out of me and take me out in the process. There is a reality to being kicked and being punched. That reality is that it hurts like shit. I understand that shit. It hurts like shit to get kicked or to get hit. So if a teacher isn't telling you that, you may want to ask that teacher, has he ever been hit or has he ever been kicked before? Because if not, you will know it. You will know it the easy way or you can learn it the hard way. I advise you to learn it the easy way. Don't get hit. This is why they teach you how to block before they teach you how to punch, before they teach you how to kick. And if they don't, then they won't. 1 second. A little deeper. What's on the ground? I might be a little bit of a jerk, but I'm not that big of a jerk. I'm actually worse, but I was a kid once too. Don't sit on the ground. I had got fire ants for standing on a fire ant hill when I was in the Army. So sit in the chair. And that way you don't have to look through the camera and you'll still be able to see me. Yes, I have a guest. Yes, it is a youngster. We just met. I figured he could watch the live. And I will try to keep the swearing down to a minimum. Anyway, when you got the Tonfas and you're in a Thai fighting, boom, you can block, you can block, you can block, you can block. So those are your blocks. And hopefully I'm still on frame for Instagram. No, TikTok, Instagram's right there. So you're going to throw a jab, boom, boom. Now, boom. Get it around there. You're going to throw an uppercut. You don't want to throw an uppercut and then do this. Because clack. That can happen, and not only are you going to rearrange their teeth, you're going to rearrange yours. So if you're going to throw an uppercut, boom. Step back, jab. Come back with that. So, boom, boom, boom. It's going to be a hell of a lot better for you than boom, boom. Because if you don't clear that distance, chin check, clock, teeth. Yeah, these are wooden. Tonfas are wooden, and they don't have steel in them. They are straight wood. Uh-oh. Somebody's requesting. We will attempt that, but you should know if you were able to come up, I won't be able to respond to anything because making a live and a TikTok. And it's also going to be put on my YouTube later. Anyway, so you're throwing your jab, throwing your jab, throwing your jab, boom, with the Tonfa. You know, throwing a jab, boom. You know, it's got to be a hell of a lot easier than, what the hell's going on with that page? Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on with that thing. Anyway, I'm not going to disrupt the live for whatever guest is on. So, block, strike, it's okay, but you got to clear the distance. Uppercut, strike, you still got to clear the distance. As slow as I'm moving, fights don't work like that. Most fights last 3 to 5 minutes, and somebody keeps requesting my TikTok. I already accepted them, but it's my machine. I don't know why it won't let you in, but it's okay. You will be recorded, so if you don't want to be recorded, you should probably drop out of the live. Anyway, so you're throwing a jab and you want to come down, that's a lot safer than throwing an uppercut and coming up. If you're going to throw a jab and come out, you want to be able to do that. Block, strike, block, strike. You got to clear the distance on anything going from the inside to the outside versus the outside to the inside. So for me, I am not an inside guy. I am an outside guy. So I thrust you in the gut. I'm coming from the outside. If I hit you in the gut this way and I come this way, it's because it was the only option I had at the time. Most of the time, you're going to go with your instinct. Your instincts generally won't let you down if you've been training for a long enough time to trust them. So, boom is a lot safer than boom and that. Because if I don't clear that distance, I'm going to knock my own teeth out. Hell, I might knock myself out, and God only knows what the other guy's going to do. If I didn't hit him hard enough, they're probably going to beat the crap out of me because I helped them out by knocking myself out. They're definitely going to pick up my Tonfa. and they're gonna make me wish they never met me. So another train of thought, you're never always walking around with these things in your hand. So fighting training without weapons is more important than training with them. It doesn't help to not know how to use these, but you're never gonna have these on you 24 hours a day. Yeah, you're not. You're not gonna walk around with a katana 24 hours a day. You're not gonna walk around with sais, nunchucks, or any of that shit. Most of the time, you can't walk around in public with them damn things anyway. Technically, they count as exotic weapons, so they're not firearms, so you don't really have to have them registered. And at the same damn time, you're in the city. And most of the time, if you're not in the park training or in your backyard, like so, you're not gonna walk around with kamas or tonfas or any of that other stuff unless it's like a job requirement. If you're doing a martial art demonstration, you might be able to get away with it. You might. If you're just walking around the streets with that, you're probably gonna get arrested. So don't carry tonfas or kamas around anywhere. So we're gonna finish up a little bit more with the tonfa stuff, and then we are going to go into bound fighting with my hands tied, and then I'm going to end the live. Alright? So, like I said, I'm only going to be on here for like an hour at best. Thought that was an ant. Anyway, so you can jab, jab, jab with these in your hand, because the original kamas, which these are, but we're not using kamas. If you're holding a kama like this, you don't have a thumb. But for tonfas, it's extended a little bit. So it's actually a little bit longer than this. And most tonfas should go past your elbow. But these are actually training kamas, not tonfas, if you missed that at the beginning. So you can block, 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 and block. That would be more like Thai fighting blocks versus the standard block of boxing. Boom, 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 boom. You know, but if you're going to jab with these things, you don't want to come from the inside unless you're comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that, so I always go for the outside. Boom, boom, boom. And then I can put them back. Boom. That way, I don't like it. Plus, this bitch almost slipped out of my hand. Boom. Don't like it. I'm the outside to the inside guy. So, boom, boom. That works for me. Boom, boom. That works better. Again, got to clear that distance, because if you don't clear that distance, you're going to break a rib. And that's going to be a problem in the middle of a fight. You don't want to break your own rib in the middle of a fight trying to defend yourself. So if you're going to throw from the inside to the out, you need to clear that distance, because hitting here, it's going to happen. If you don't get it off and get it far enough out, it's going to hurt, and you're probably going to break something. So understand how that feels. Get the feel for getting it out first, you know. But you also got to understand it. If you can see this, because I don't know if I'm close enough to the machine, you can see this. It's grazing off my rib. We don't want that. Double out, now I hit both ribs at the same time, which would really suck. So I'm doubling out, I'm coming from the outside. That got stuck on this hand. So that way. Block, 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 block. Get it back in my position. Boom, boom. I'm going to make sure I hit. Now understand, these are practice kamas. They are not actual tonfas, but I'm a little bit better with tonfas than I am with kamas. I'm just broke. So we're doing this ghetto style. Anyway, jab, boom, boom. 9 times out of 10. So the long answer is this. If I have these, I'm not going to be using much of these. All right? Because if I hit you and I clock you with this wood, 9 times out of 10, unless your name is Colossus or Wolverine, you should be going to sleep. So most people aren't going to take a hit with a 2.5-pound stick to the jaw, or to the face, or to the gut. Boom, boom. When you hit them in the gut, you can jab them this way, or you can go here. If you go here, pull it back, and smack them, they've already bent over because they got hit in the gut. So, boom. You know, real quick, if you were in the military, you remember the muzzle thump? Same concept. Boom. Hit them in the gut with the muzzle thump. This is not a muzzle of a firearm. This is a kama being used as a tonfa. So jab, you're going to hit right here in the solar plexus. Boom. They're going to bend over because they're not going to be able to breathe. When they go down, crack. 9 times out of 10, you're going to crack them somewhere in this area, preferred this area. You want to hit them with just enough force to let them know they've been hit, but with not enough force to unalive them. All right? You want to be real careful. Again, 1,000 things can go wrong in any kind of fight before one thing goes right, and you need to know that. And that also works both ways. So knowing how to block as my alarms are going off, you're going to need to learn that. I got to cut those alarms off, because I know that's going to be a problem. Okay, we don't have much time. Hello, beautiful people on TikTok. We're going to do something else with these nunchucks real quick, and then we're going to do bound fighting, because I dropped these at the beginning. So I used to be good, but now I'm 50. So now I'm not as good as I used to be. Yo. Shit. Well, there's something you don't see every day. Oh, that's probably going to go viral. I think I proved my point about that 1,000 things can go wrong before something goes right. We're done with nunchucks now. Oh my God. I hope y'all screenshotted that. Oh my God. To make up for that, we're gonna pull out this damn chain. In my defense, I'm old and I'm 50. I also had a hip replacement, so I don't move as well as I used to. And I'm gonna put this in half. This will not be long. Uh-oh. Something has happened to my TikTok. I probably got banned. Oh, I got disconnected. I don't know what that means, so we're gonna cancel that and keep going. I don't know what that means. I didn't really take the time to read that, so that's on me. All right, so long-range weapons are great, especially when you're short. Learning how to use them is better. Learning how to stop them is paramount. If not, you're gonna go down. All right, we're gonna do the bound fighting now, so that I can hurry up and end this live, especially since I have totally embarrassed myself. Okay, this is a little concoction. It's basically a belt tied up. We're gonna do your do's and don'ts first. All right? So first thing you need to understand is, please do not attempt this if you have not been trained at how to fight with your hands behind your back. There will be no point in your life, unless you have a really interesting life, that you will ever need to use this. But it is useful. You're not going to do this with your hands tied. You're not going to do this with your hands tied. You're not going to do this with your hands tied. When your hands are tied, your balance is thrown off. We're going to do behind the back first because it's the most difficult to do. You're going to need to learn how to block with your legs and what little bit of range you're going to have with your hands, which isn't going to be much. I'm short, I'm 5'3", I'm not flexible. So as you can see, that's my flexibility. All right? So yeah, we're going to teach you how to escape, and the best thing you need to do is understand where you are located. Out here in the freaking backyard, you should know everything, so you should know how to get away. In the event that you are like in a warehouse or something, you need to make sure that your opponent is not heading toward the door. You're trying to get to that door. So if the door's over there, you do not kick him in that direction. You kick him in that direction because you want to go to that door. So you're kick, the door's over there. So you're going to kick this way, and then you're out. Do not try to engage if you do not have the training. And remember, This is my flexibility. So, yeah. It's going to be real hard to block. As you can see, that's not really helping. If someone was to throw a punch right now, I'm probably going to sleep. Alright? Let's keep the shit real. I can't reach to defend my face. So if I don't see it coming and I can't do one of these, or one of these, or one of these, I'm probably going to sleep. So again, door's over there, and let's say I can't use this leg, so we're going to use this leg. So we're going to do an outside to inside crescent kick. No, we're going to do an inside to outside crescent kick. This is the first kick I did, which was an outside to inside crescent kick. Boom! But like I said, let's say we can't use this leg. So we're going to do an inside to outside crescent kick. We'll take a stand. Boom! That way I can still go to the door, and as you can see, I didn't have to work that hard. When I did this kick, I had to find my range back around. And you'll see the difference. I'm still trying to go to that door. I want my enemy to go over to this side. Boom! Now, I got to pop my hips and move to get the hell out of his way. With this kick, I don't have to pop my hips as much other than when engaging the kick. Boom! He's over there, and I'm out. Now, here's the thing. If that kick doesn't knock him out, we got problems. Alright? So remember that. You can't afford to miss when your hands are tied. And you have to make sure that it counts. Now basically, we're just going to say the same shit. Only this time, I want him to go this way, and the door is over there. So if I want him to go that way, and I'm trying to go that way, this time, outside to inside crescent kick with the right leg, boom! So I put him in that direction, and I'm popping and I'm going. Now, I don't want to do that with the left leg, because then that puts him in the way of my door, which means I'm going to have to engage an already highly enraged person who, for some reason, kidnapped me for no reason whatsoever, but here I am. So what we're going to do with the left leg is an inside to outside crescent kick to put him over this way so that I can run out the door that way. So he's coming. Boom! All right. Now, if this kick doesn't work very well because this leg's fucked up because I had a hip replacement, so I'm probably going to have to continue to engage, but only because of this leg. So if I do this, boom, and he stops there, boom, I'm going to kick him one more time, and then I'm going to roll out. Unless he catches my foot. Then we got problems, which is the other side of this, which is really, really bad. So here comes the bad news. There's a good chance if you don't know how to fall properly, with your hands tied, you're probably going to break something. I'm not doing any break falls because I washed my hair last night. So that's not an option. But if you know anything about wrestling and bumps, so you want your shoulder blades and your butt, and you want to try to land as flat as possible on your back if they catch your foot. Now, I will say if they catch your foot, you're in a world of trouble, son. So if I was you, I would make sure that that shit doesn't happen. Do not attempt to kick anyone in the testicles. You want to go for knockout blows and knockout blows only. So, chin, sternum. You want to go with something that's going to hurt your enemy so that you can escape. You don't want to kick them somewhere that's just going to slow them down. You want to stop them because your hands are tied behind your back. Now we get to the fun part so I can end the live. Your hands are in front. Remember those do's and don'ts, because you're still not going to do them. Because I'm going to show you, this is going to throw my balance off. Ready? Okay. See how my balance is off? Okay? I can't get the power that I need to use those. So you're basically going to stick with the basics, and it's going to save your life. Block high, left, medium, low, right, medium, low. Those blocks are needed. Do not attempt the Jackie Chan stuff where they're going to throw a punch and you're going to try to catch that. No, fuck that shit. This rope, if you're going to do anything, when you block, you're going to knee them, get behind them, and then do the Jackie Chan shit. Because once you get behind them, you can put this shit behind their throat and just pull. When they stop moving, you let them go. And to be on the safe side, even though you probably shouldn't do this because this is technically counting as lethal ordinance, put this knee right there, right between the two shoulder blades. That should reduce some of the airflow. It should reduce some of the airflow. The key to that was the word it should. S-H-O-U-D. And I'm probably spelling it wrong, but anyway, it should reduce the airflow. Now, if you have to get on their back like they do in wrestling, the backstabber, you know, then you got it. Just fall back and keep them there. Try not to break their neck on the fall, and try not to fuck yourself up in the same time. You know. So again, you're a little safer with your hands tied in front because you have the ability to block now. High right, medium with knee, low. Right? High left, medium with knee, low. The reason why you can do that, they're in front now. You have a tactical advantage because you're bound in front. By the way, if you're a contortionist, none of this shit matters. Because if you can take your hands back here and throw them bitches all the way over your back, or you're a slick little fracking jackass and can slide your feet through, I don't have that flexibility anymore. The hip replacement has eliminated about 75% of my arsenal. So stick to basics. Remember your blocks. You have to make your hands work as a team. Boom, boom. You know, and if you do Wing Chun, you just remember Pak Sao. Practice that. You should be okay. Block, boom, boom. You know, block, boom. You know, try not to hit your funny bone in the process. So, boom, boom. You know, also be careful because this bitch will wrap up and tighten up, and it can probably cut off the circulation of blood to flow to your hands. So, there's that. But you're gonna block, boom. Now you can actually engage more because you have the ability to block and you have the ability to use your legs as much as your hands. Boom, boom. You know, you don't have to worry too much about stuff unless you have not been trained to fight at all. That's when things become a problem. Again, you won't be doing this because there's a good chance you're going to land on your face. All right? You also won't be doing this because, as you can see, when you go back and watch this, you'll see that it looked a lot better when my hands weren't tied. You know, even from this side. So no, you're not going to use those. Truth be told, in an actual fight, you're probably never going to get the chance to do that anyway. That's some movie shit. Basics for real fights. Movie stuff is when you use the hardcore finishers and the show-off stuff. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the chance to do any of that shit, so you're going to have to keep it basic. It also depends on the most important thing, the guy you're fighting. Because that's where things get real. Okay, so we're not going to answer any questions. And I'm going to end the live so I can post this stuff on my TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the guests that are there. But my nose is also starting to run. I want to thank y'all very much for being here. I'm going to end this live. Nice shaking, because she's shaking her booty. Thank you for that. I needed that for the day. Thank you both. And YouTube, Instagram, I will be catching y'all when the weather is right once again. Have a good night. Okay. Now we can fix this problem. Yeah, it gets better. You be careful with that. YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Granted, it wasn't an hour. It was 30 minutes. Had some guests on my live on TikTok, so that kind of started getting out of hand, which is why I'm actually ending the live. That being said, I have a little guest over here. Hopefully he enjoyed the show. And it's almost time for Lester Holt to come on. So this stuff will be up when it gets up. I want to thank you guys for being here, all 403 of you. Thank you very much. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Combo number 2, B, C, and U.